god, hi everyone, happy new year. What? Okay, sorry, let me stop. Also, I don't know if you can tell, but I have a cold. If I sound like I have a cactus inside my throat, that's why. So basically, Illegal is supposed to be like the same thing as like White Christmas, like a stop motion animation. Kind of like all of the lyric videos for Fancy That. That's what I wanted it to look like. Today is the 29th of December. Things might look a little bit different when you actually do see it, but anyways. So this is the first file thing. The city's from Sketchfab, characters are from Mixamo. At this point, I feel like we all know the drill. Assets from Sketchfab, characters from Mixamo. How I got it to look like this stop motion style was with an add-on called Stop Mo by Southern Shoddy. I wanted to have kind of all of the moments exist at the same time. I don't know if that makes a lot of sense. But it's like, for example, when the camera leaves this shot, like they're here, but they're also here at the same time. I wanted them to all exist all in one. I mean, then again, there isn't really anything much to explain here. There's just very light animation. I wanted it to look like, I wanted it all to look really kind of badly made. That was my idea. If anybody says that animation kind of sucks, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of supposed to. And then for all of the cuts, they're like over here instead of being over here. Like for example, when it goes like, hey, is this illegal? Like these are like these. So like it just switches the camera. So now the camera's focusing on this one, and then on this shot is this camera focusing on her like that. That's really pretty much it for this first part. Like really, there's like nothing, there's actually almost nothing to explain, genuinely. Then from the part where it goes, here's 24ya until the wow, that's a separate file. I don't really know why I made two files. I mean, probably because I didn't want to have like 10 of the same characters in the same thing. So anyway, it's just a different file. Those other characters were over here, but these ones start over here. Just because the city all kind of looks the same. I feel like nobody's really gonna notice. Even like you can see here, it starts on the hay. All of these words are just like kind of scattered around, and these ones, the material has like a lower alpha channel just so that it gives like their ad libs, so they're not supposed to be like as audible, so they're not supposed to be as visible, that type of thing. I don't know, that probably makes no sense actually. I wanted to be clear that like there's multiple of the same characters scattered around the city. So here when she goes, here's 24ya, you can see that there's no cut. You can see that there's characters here and there's characters over there, but it's supposed to be the same person. Then it just moves like that. Then they're over here getting high around the corner, and then it just moves. I wanted this wow part to still be visible because I just wanted to make kind of like a more interesting transition than just like swiping. It swipes, but it swipes to this background that has like nothing behind. So this is just like an alpha channel, which if you put a video below this video on the like timeline of DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use, the second video will show up here, but this wow will still be seen. And then this wow is gonna fade out. So that is it for this city section. And then this is the bedroom scene. This is the only reference image I use for this bedroom because it's not like, not a lot's going on over here. There are not enough assets here yet. The bed has no pillows or a blanket, but I just wanted to show you guys this. It's not like I would have to explain anything important. But so this starts before that wow, so that when the wow comes in, it is still here. I don't know if that also makes sense, but it starts like this. You know, like the wow is already here. Whereas if it was like a whole swipe transition, the wow obviously wouldn't be here. It would start over here. But instead, you know, and then the wow is gonna be somewhere over here and it's gonna fade out. The bedroom is just this tiny situation going on over here. And in here also nothing else is really going on. They're just like talking. And I feel like I didn't explain that properly, but this, basically the whole stop motion, how you get it to look like really choppy and like this is with this add-on called Stop Mo. Well, you animate whatever you want to animate. Then you click on that object or that armature or whatever, and you click on apply steps, and you choose the step amount, and whatever you choose, that step amount will be applied to. Well, obviously apply steps. I guess that's kind of self-explanatory. Yeah, it'll just add the stop motion look to it. And then for the lyrics, for them to like kind of do this motion thing, the way I did that is I had to convert all the text to mesh because you cannot add a displace modifier on text. And then it's just a normal displace modifier with a texture, a cloud texture, I think so. No, with no texture, just a normal displace modifier. And then I just keyframe the strength of it. I added 4 keyframes that are separated in two. So every 2 frames, there is a keyframe for the strength. And they're just like random amounts so that it looks like it's like has some variation or something. So for example, for this one, the first keyframe is 0, then the next one is 0.035, negative 0.15, and then 0.035 again. Then I went to the graph editor and I modified the animation, and I set a modifier to cycles so that the animation would keep cycling around. So you can see here that like it cycles. It goes like those 4 keyframes, it just repeat until like forever basically. And then after animating that, I added the stop mo modifier of 2 so that it would look even more choppy. And then I just basically linked all of the animation data, which is basically I just made all of the objects, all the text objects do the same thing, but I just moved these 4 keyframes around so that they wouldn't all be in the same place and all be like moving at the same time. For example, bed is over here, my is over there, on is over there, like, and it's like further away, so just to give a little bit of more variation to that. And that is the same thing for pretty much all of the text. It has this like effect. One after one, now you're sitting on my bed, and then the camera swipes to the left. This slot is supposed to be the park, then it comes back from the park. And then here, I haven't done this yet, but on this part, then later on, I can feel shame in my head. I'm gonna put 2 curtains over here, then I'm gonna make them close. Sort of like if I can find a clip of it, but like on the short and sweet tour, there's like a moment where the curtains close and then a light is lit from the back, so you can only see like the silhouette of Sabrina and the dancer. But I want to do that for the text instead. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. I think it should be pretty simple. And then for the park scene, I literally just now finished this. Like genuinely, right before I started recording this, I finished this part. And then the camera starts over here. Basically, all of these things are over here because if you do like a swipe thing and there's obviously nothing over there, there's gonna be like a moment where it's like black, and you don't want that to happen. So I just filled it up with like the same thing over here, and I just duplicated it a little bit so that it would have something on the frame and it wouldn't be like completely black. It swipes from the bedroom, and then in here they're just arguing or talking or whatever. All of this text, it's the same thing as the other text that was in the room. For all of the vegetation, I used the Bagapie modifier, and I just basically just go, you have to make an asset browser. I'm not gonna explain how this works because this is the whole process, but you make a whole asset library, and then you can just drag and drop, and then you can select the object that you want the vegetation to appear in, go on J, go on scatter paint, and then you can just paint it on, and then it just paints on whatever you want to paint on there. That's how I did all the vegetation. It's very simple, very fun to use as well. This plane is just like this small plane that's just over here. This is only for the like leaves and branches so that the floor wouldn't be like completely empty, because this is supposed to be like a tiny park. And then here in the back, this has 3 systems, I think. It has one for the bushes, one for the trees in the back that are all the way over there as well, so that, you know, the camera wouldn't have, so that it wouldn't look weird on the camera. And then there is all of the grass that's over here that is also extended all the way over there. And that is pretty much it. That's how I animated Illegal. There was really nothing to explain, let's be real, because it's just animation, a little bit of stop motion, and then just modeling and me explaining how to animate in Blender. Like genuinely, the way I didn't say anything right now. Yeah, I animated Illegal, but it was just like modeling and animating and like putting stuff in. Like, okay, what?